What if your pre-workout is quietly stealing progress from every workout? Stay with me for a few minutes and I'll show you the biggest lies that drain your energy, waste your money, and wreck your recovery. Quick truth first, used correctly, pre-workout is safe for most lifters. The tingles don't always equal results. Food timing is personal. Good formulas are more than caffeine. And no, supplements are not pre-approved by the FDA. Let's break the myths one by one and make sure you never waste another scoop. Everyone's heard someone say pre-workout's bad for your heart, but that's only true if you abuse it. The real danger is in the stacking. When you combine it with energy drinks, fat burners, coffee, pre-workout, all in one day, that's like asking for trouble just because you like the feeling, and it doesn't get better at that point. Most people don't even realize how easy it is to have so much caffeine in one day, you know? You have a big coffee in the morning, a stim pre-workout before training, and maybe a late night soda, and suddenly you're at 600 milligrams of caffeine without even noticing. Your heart isn't the problem, your math isn't mathing. One scoop is fine for most people, most healthy adults. Cap your caffeine around 400 milligrams per day, hydrate, you try to use electrolytes, sleep properly. That's how you keep the buzz without burning out. And if you're sensitive to caffeine or anxious often, try cycling every few weeks. You'll reset your tolerance and you'll feel that energy again without needing to double scoop. Now, about those tingles everyone talks about, that itching from beta-alanine isn't progress. It's just a side effect. It's a harmless nerve reaction. Nothing to do with muscle performance. You could dump beta-alanine entirely and it would still hit the same, but it's in every pre-workout almost. Some people love that tingle because it just feels like power, but it's just purely sensory. Don't judge a scoop by your skin, judge it by your logbook. Look at your reps, your rest times, how much effort you're putting in, and your time under tension. That's the real score. If you want energy that actually lasts, look for mixes that use both various forms of stimulants like slow and fast digesting caffeine. You know, you got that fast hitting from caffeine hydrous, and then you got that slow digesting from malate. That's balance. It feels strong, long lasting, and not sketchy. But then you got the food debate. Do you eat before or you train fasted? Some swear you need carbs. Some say if you're fasted training, then you're wasting your progress, but some say you get better focus and pumps when you're fasted. Truth? It's personal. For me, I train fasted. An empty stomach hits quicker with a pre-workout, but it can make some people dizzy or jittery, depending on your habits. A light meal slows the hit and it makes it smoother, but it's less about right and wrong and more about how your body reacts to caffeine and absorbs the ingredients in pre-workouts. Experiment with both. 3 sessions fasted, 3 sessions fed. It's kind of like switching from afternoon training to morning training. You'll feel weak in the beginning and then you'll feel better. Whichever lets you train harder, feel sharper, that's your answer. If you want the sweet spot, you can have something like a banana or a rice cake 30 minutes before you train. It balances both worlds. But here's one I hear non-stop. Pre-workouts are just caffeine, cheap tubs. Maybe, but good formulas are like a full team. It's like you're collecting all the Avengers. You got that citrulline for blood flow, beta-alanine for power, nootropics like tyrosine, huperzine, and for focus and mood. Everything comes together. And then you got all the stimulants, yohimbine, synephrine, they all hit differently. And then you got those different combinations. When it's stacked right, it hits nice. But those flashy tubs, when you see them with prop blends and you don't know how much you're getting from each ingredient, they're hiding something. It's usually not as good as it looks, or they're doing something that no one really knows until you try it. Most of the time, 99% of your time, don't waste your time with prop blends. If the label has to hide their dosages, just assume it's bad. Like 100% of the time almost. It should show everything clearly, and that's not a myth. Everything from pre-workouts is proven by science, and if it has to be hidden, then it has to be not good. If it shows everything clearly, that's a good formula. A transparent formula is a good formula. And if the FDA ever approves something, it would probably be my discount code. Use code FitFrek, and when you grab your next tub, you save money. And it helps me keep testing, and you can skip the junk after I tell you what's good and what's not. That's how you fund real reviews without depending on sponsors who only send their favorites. So let's talk about the classic move, double scooping. People think 2 scoops means double gains, but reality, it means double crash, and you're probably wasting your money. You'll probably hit like a huge high, then the next day you'll be crawling wondering why you can't focus. Your recovery tanks, your sleep drops, and your next lift feels like a chore. Not only that, but your productivity throughout the day just feels a lot worse. But yeah, so many people do it because the label says 1 to 2 scoops. That second scoop is for tolerance testing, not ego lifting. Respect the label, hydrate, and pace yourself. The lower the stims, and the more performance you get, the better. And sometimes the 1 scoop is usually the max serving for a pre-workout, but some people still double scoop. That's dangerous. Don't do that. And also dry scooping, that's not cool. That's just choking, putting yourself under extra steps that you don't really need to take. Put it in water, mix it, measure it, and let it dissolve properly. That way you'll absorb everything better that way, and you'll benefit from the water. Now here's something most lifters never hear. The FDA doesn't test supplements before they're sold. Companies are responsible for their own formulas. The FDA, they only step in when something goes wrong after the fact. So if you see FDA approved anywhere in the pre-workout, it's a lie. That's why brand trust matters more than buzzwords and marketing. Look for third-party testing, clear labels, consistency across batches, and you'll be safe. If they hide it, skip it. If they list it clearly, that's a brand worth supporting. Dosages are not a secret. They're backed by science, and no, non-stimulant pre-workouts are not scammed, and no, non-stim pre-workouts are not scams. They're the calm cousin. They're built for blood flow, endurance, and even focus if they have the right ingredients. It's perfect for those who lift at night or anyone already using caffeine sources like coffee. You'll still get that full, tight pump, just without that post-workout jitters or crash. Add creatine, glycerol, or electrolytes, and you'll get more performance than half the stim formulas out there. But let's be real. Pre-workout doesn't create energy. It borrows it from your future self. Think of it as taking a loan. You're borrowing and you got to pay it back. And that's fine if you pay it back with sleep and food and hydration and recovery, but don't rely on it every single day. If every workout needs a pre-workout, then that's not focus, that's dependency. And that's probably advice that I should be following. Use it as a tool, not a personality. You want it to enhance your workouts, not replace it. And you know what else should be as transparent as your supplement label? This channel. 88% of people watching right now are not subscribed. Fix that, it's free, it supports honest reviews, and it keeps me from turning into another talking ad. All right, quick myth cleanup before we finish. Heart rate raising in the gym, normal. Stacking stims, not. No tingles, still working. Eat or fasted, personal. Hidden dosages, skip. Double servings, skip tomorrow's energy. Dry scoop, skip your airway. FDA approval doesn't exist. Non-stim, totally valid. And if you can remember just that, you'll be ahead of 90% of gym bros. And here's a quick framework before buying anything. Keep caffeine under 400 milligrams a day. Pick labels with real dosages. Choose stim or non-stim based on the time of day. Stay hydrated. Electrolytes help a ton with your heart. And eat sometime in your 24-hour window. Track at least 2 weeks before deciding if a tub's legit. Most people quit too early and they blame it on the tub, but the problem could be from their sleep or consistency or just a bad week. End of the day, pre-workout is just a tool, it's a supplement, and it helps for focus, pump, and consistency, not your personality. Don't chase tingles and don't play scoop roulette. Don't treat caffeine like cardio. So if you're picking something up, use code FitFrek, save money. It keeps me testing new formulas, and maybe even the FDA would approve of that decision. Drop a comment telling me which myth got you before today and which one I should test next. See you in the next session.